My family was just reading this book in The Magnetic Project Manager. Sorry for the shameless plug. But in chapter 4, I talked about some people don't want to be fixed because being broken gets them attention. That's by Brad Turnbull. But today's episode, we're talking about this isn't about distractions. Distractions, no, we're not talking about distractions. It's just you and me right now. You're not stuck. You're avoiding the discomfort that comes with being committed. You see, I remember I was busy, and knowing that I was busy, I was really actually kind of hiding in a sense. See, for months, I was the most productive person you would know. I mean, meetings on calendars, email answered soon as it came through. Reports, of course, they were delivered. That wasn't it. From the outside, I was looking responsible. Matter of fact, I was looking reliable, on track. But there was one thing, the certification, the role I said I wanted, the promotion that I talked to my friend over there and a family member over there that kept getting pushed to the next week. I didn't call it fear. You know what I called it? I called it being distracted. I told myself the timing just wasn't right, but we know that was a lie. The truth was very uncomfortable. I wasn't distracted. I was hiding. I was using busyness as a defense mechanism, and productivity was easy. Discomfort was hard. See, doing the real work meant risking something, risking failure, risking wasted effort, or just finding out, you know what, I really wasn't ready and I just didn't want to believe it. Therefore, I stayed busy. And then it hit me. My distractions weren't pulling me away from my goals. They were protecting me from them. Because see, if you're always busy, you never have time to find out if you actually have what it takes. That's why I say most people are distracted. They are avoiding discomfort. I like that, family. Principle number 1, most people are distracted. They're avoiding discomfort. See, distractions rarely are about discipline. It's about emotional avoidance. See, purpose forces you to confront this uncertainty, self-doubt, and the possibility of actually getting exposed. Distractions offer release. They give you your nervous system an escape hatch in a sense, and letting you feel like you've done something today. So instead of moving forward, people kind of orbit around productivity. They may even read a productivity book, or they may even be listening to this episode at the same time, saying, oh, I'm going to prioritize some things. But they do tasks adjacent to the work that actually matters because proximity feels safer than commitment. Why is this important? See, when discomfort is avoided consistently, avoidance stops feeling like a choice. It becomes a default response. What do you mean, ED? I mean that over time, this reshaped identity, you just don't delay purpose. You train yourself to retreat from it. And that's how talented people, exceptional people, people that move, as they say, move the ball, slowly talk themselves out of becoming who they said they wanted to be. Experiment with these actionable tips. Identify the tasks you've been postponing that would actually create momentum, not just motion. Write down exactly why it feels uncomfortable. Let's name that fear, not the excuse. Next one, schedule 15 minutes to work on that task without the goal of finishing, meaning we need to finish this task. This is a test. The test is in progress. It's actually tolerance. Here's my professional advice, family. If something matters and it feels uncomfortable, that discomfort is actually information. It's not danger. It is learn. And now we got to interpret it correctly. And when discomfort is avoided long enough, something else begins to have you drift. Principle number 2, you don't drift into purpose. You actually, you drift away from it. See, purpose requires a conscious direction. Drift doesn't. Drift happens when a small compromise stack quietly over time. People don't abandon purpose in one decision. They loosen their standards. They delay one hard conversation. They choose convenience over actually having that clarity. See, each choice feels minor until, there was an until, family, until that moment is entirely lost. Why is this important? Drift is dangerous because it feels innocent. There's no crisis moment. There's no clear failure. There's just distance. And as long as you drift, the harder it becomes to remember why you even started in the first place. Experiment with these actionable tips. Review the last 5 working days and identify one decision made purely for convenience. Ask a quick question. Does this direction you're going in Is it moving you towards or away from the thing you said you wanted? Next one, we introduce one non-negotiable standard this week, even if it creates big friction. Family, I'm going to even be transparent because I created one for myself because I don't want to be the one that just talks about it and don't live it. I want to live what I am speaking about. So I created one for me for a good example. One of the things I said as a non-negotiable is that I got to get back to creating these episodes more frequently. That's a non-negotiable now. Hope you can find yours. Here's my professional advice. Direction doesn't require perfection. Stop trying to be perfect. Remember that book I recommended, Start Ugly? That's a great read. Check it out. But it does require a deliberate action or deliberate correction. And see, one reason people drift is because consistency doesn't feel rewarding at first. Principle number 3, consistency feels boring before it feels powerful. Consistency doesn't provide immediate feedback. There's no dopamine hit. There's nobody sitting in the corner or in front, in the back or side of you applauding you. It's just sets and ref. Most people, they abandon consistency, not because it doesn't work. It's because it doesn't feel like it's actually working. What did B.B. King said, the feel or the thrill is gone. That's what it feels like when you're being consistent because it doesn't feel like it's something happening. See, this is important, family, because the gap between boring and powerful is where most people quit. They resign, they give up, they call it, I'm throwing the towel in. That gap is also where mastery is built. It's also where if you leave too early, you'll never experience that compounding effect or impact to who you can be. Experiment with these actionable tips. Choose one daily action tied directly to your purpose and commit to it for 7 days, regardless of the outcome. Next one, track completion only. Eliminate judgment about results. Family, we only care, did you do it or did you not? Completion is the only thing that matters in this situation. Here's my professional advice. Consistency doesn't need motivation. You know what it needs? It needs identity. So instead of consistency, people replace it with something that feels productive, but is busyness. Principle number 4, busyness is often fear in disguise. Ooh, I like this. See, this is about to get good to me, family. So instead of consistency, people replace it with something that feels somewhat productive. Well, we call it busyness. See, it creates the illusion of progress while protecting you from accountability. Why is this important? Busy people feel justified. Focused people, they get outcomes and results. When busy people become habitual, real progress stalls behind activity. Experiment with these actionable tips. Eliminate one recurring task that consumes time, but produces no measurable outcome. Next one, before starting any task, I want you to ask yourself this question. What problem does this actually solve? Here's my professional advice, family. Movement is only valuable when it's directional. Oh, I know what you're thinking. I'm gonna have to park here parenthetically and say this because I already know. If you made it this far, I know what you're thinking. Well, how do I know which direction to go? I love what Jocko Williams said when this question was brought up. He said, if you were lost in a forest and you didn't know which way to go, just start walking towards a direction. And see, I love that because see, in life, we have to start walking towards a direction and to find out that, hey, maybe that wasn't the direction we need to go in. We need to go in another direction. But I get it. Most people don't want to take that walk because what if I do walk in the same direction, I walk in a direction and I find out it's not a fit for me, then I'm going to have to change. And you know, what comes with change is being uncomfortable. Okay, I'll start with my rant. When you know, and when no one challenges busyness, distractions start to multiply. Principle number 5, distractions multiply when accountability disappears. Without accountability, distractions feel harmless. There's no external mirror to reflect avoidance. Purpose thrives under visibility. Distractions, well, they thrive in isolation. Why is this important? When no one is watching, standards erode quietly. Excuses, they start gaining a little bit of credibility. Experiment with these actionable tips. Create a weekly check-in focused on outcomes, not efforts. I actually do this every Sunday. I have a look at it. Hey, what did I do well? Meaning from an outcome standpoint, and what didn't I do well and what I need to work on. Next one. Make one commitment visible to someone who won't soften feedback. Again, that is a tough one. So you're going to have, as they say, a circle of trust or a psychological safety area where you can tell someone, hey, this is a commitment I'm going to do. And I want feedback from you if I don't accomplish it. Here's my professional advice, family. Accountability isn't pressure. It's just alignment. See, without alignment, people wait for confidence before acting. Principle number 6, most people wait for confidence. Purpose requires action first. See, confidence is treated as a prerequisite instead of an actual byproduct, but confidence is built through exposure, not preparation. Confidence is built through going through something, not just reading about it. See, this is important, family, because waiting for confidence delays growth indefinitely. Action, yeah, we're talking about action is the only thing that produces proof. Experiment with these actionable tips. Take one, and I do mean one. In a perfect action today without over preparing, without overthinking, without over analyzing. Okay, I'm talking about me. This is what I had to do. I had to realize I just need to do it once and do it again and again. All right, next one. Reflect afterwards on what actually happened, not what you feared, but what actually happened. Here's my professional advice, family. Professionals move before certainty, and confidence follows competency. Oh, I like that. I felt like I was freestyling there. All right. And the longer action is delayed, family, the more distractions feel safe. Like you in a snuggle, what was that snuggle outfit? But anyway, I digress. Principle number 7, distractions feel harmless because they're familiar. Familiar or familiarity creates a non-resistant impact. But what you don't realize, it is impeding upon your progress. So what ends up happening? You end up sabotaging your progress. See, comfort disguise itself is like, oh, this feels good. This is what we're supposed to do, but that's not it. See, this is important, family, because what feels familiar often escapes scrutiny. That's how stagnation becomes sustainable. Experiment with these actual tips. Identify one familiar habit that offers relief, but no progress. Next one, replace it temporarily with a deliberate focus and observe your resistance. Here's my professional advice, family. Comfort is not natural. It votes against growth, which brings us to the final truth. Principle number 8. Every day, I want you to challenge yourself by asking one question. What did you feed today? Time, attention, and energy are finite resources. Something is always being fed. Purpose doesn't vanish, it's starved. Why is this important? Your future is built on repeated daily deposits, not dramatic decisions, or I really should say dramatic choices, because when you make a decision, you cut off everything else. There's nothing else to really think about. We've made a decision to move forward. Only thing we're doing now is pivoting. Only thing we're doing now is making adjustments. Experiment with these actionable tips. At the end of the day, write down what received your best energy. Next one, adjust tomorrow's priorities based on that answer. Here's my professional advice, fam. Purpose grows where attention is constantly or consistently placed. And once you stop feeding distractions internally, you begin to notice them externally in your systems, your structures, your family, with environments that are designed to keep you busy, but not effective. And that's the conversation we're stepping into next. Because here's the truth, family. This is the part where most people don't want to hear. Purpose doesn't disappear because you fail. It disappears because you kept feeding everything else before feeding the purpose. Distractions don't win by force. They win by what is familiar. But every single day, whether you realize it or not, you're answering one question. What did I feed today? I hope this episode made you just as uncomfortable as it has made me, which is not a bad sign. This is awareness that we're starting to wake up. This is awareness that we need to move forward. This is awareness that there's a calling on your life or what you're doing, what you're supposed to do. And we're waiting for you to stand up and take it, because you're not alone in this fight, because I have to make the same decision every day as you do. Purpose or distraction. Sometimes I go undefeated, and sometimes I'm on the canvas, but I continue to work and get better. So sit with this, audit your time, audit your energy. And if this message resonated with you, share this with a person who's talented, frustrated, and quietly questioning themselves, because they may need a reminder today of what are they feeding. And if you're new to this episode, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, hey, listen, that just simply means Ed. Until next time.